Hi everyone, from me, Brent Graham. Welcome to the Stage 10 betting preview of the Tour de France. A reminder that you can get a refund on a second place finish with World Sports Betting. Terms and conditions are on their site. Let's get into the action though. We've just finished a rest day and are ready for Stage 10, where we've got a pretty hilly stage ahead of us. We'll talk about that in just a second. But let's wrap up Stage 9, where we had, we had two races really. We had a massive breakaway go clear. Of course, we weren't able to pick one rider who was actually in the breakaway. The one I considered quite closely, unfortunately didn't put him, was Michael Woods. He was a 16-1 shot for the stage, and he got into that break. And yeah, it was really, really exciting stuff from the breakaway. Woods at one stage looked well beaten, with Jorgensen actually odds-on favourite for the stage at one point. But Woods timed his climb absolutely perfectly in this last 4 kilometres, which was so tough. He gained about a minute and a half over Jorgensen and then still pulled clear of him. So that was exceptional. A good ride by Pierre Latour. And Mohoric, you'll see I've included in today's staking plan, also did well on a climb that is certainly a little bit tough for him. The race behind, though, was absolutely fascinating. And I mean, what did you think about those visuals when Pogacar attacked Vingegaard in those final kilometers? And you had those aerial picks, and the two of them were going, and the gap was 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 6 or 7. It was absolutely tense stuff. Brilliant to watch. And that Puy de Dôme climb, well, let's hope that they took 35 years to bring it back to the Tour. I don't think we're going to wait that long for the next time. It was a spectacular watch. Anyway, Pogacar managing to pull a few seconds back there. So let's have a look at the latest outright betting. And now Pogacar's actually firmed into favourite at 9-10 with Vingegaard at even money. A Dinkum 2-horse race, there's no doubt about it. 50-1 Hindley there. Is sort of third favourite. I mean, he's well back in the betting. We've got Pogacar also favourite of King of the Mountains at 11-4 and Jonas Vingegaard at 7-2. Then we got the points jersey. Philipsen here looks to have this wrapped up. If he can just stay upright, he is 1-8 to win that. And then this one, the team classification is quite interesting now, because Bahrain Victorious are actually currently the leaders. They're on offer at 4-1. They had a couple of riders up front where they had Mohoric, who came third in the end, and they managed to gain quite a few. They had quite a few guys in the break. They managed to gain some time on the likes of Ineos and Jumbo that at this point are probably not focusing on the team competition, although I wouldn't be surprised if Ineos have one eye on it. And Ineos are still the 4-7 favourites. They've drifted from 9-20. And then we got Visma and Victorious at 4-1. And then my 25-1 up front pick. They're still 13 minutes behind, but if they can get 2 or 3 riders into the right breakaway, then they have a chance of contending. They're 16-1. That is AG2R. But let's move on to the stage 10, though. Before we do that, just a reminder, if you do enjoy the channel, hit the subscribe button and give us a like. It really helps us a lot. Right, the stage 10. This is going to be one. Now, I often tell you there's certain stages you don't have to watch from the start. You only want to watch the last 30 kilometers if it's some of the sprint stages. And the other stages, maybe you want to watch the break form because it's going to take quite a while. But then in between, you could probably go away and then come watch the end. This is a stage where you want to be seated for the entire stage. It's got, what we'd call, I suppose, rolling hills, although these look far more than hills, really. It's described as a hilly stage, so you're just battling with the Tour's website here just to get this stage to show properly. Yeah, I'll just scan it down like that. We start straight away with a Cat 3 climb here, 4.8 kilometers at 4.7%. So immediately we've got something where the tough riders can get into the break. And this is a stage, make no mistake, where everybody is going to be trying to get into the break, or everybody is not in contention for the Tour. So Jumbo-Visma, they'll probably try and get Wout van Aert in the break because this stage is absolutely perfect for him. But aside from that, I wouldn't expect any action from them. And UAE, I can't see them even getting anyone into the break. They'll be looking just to ride through the stage, I would imagine. But we're going to get a tough break. Whether it goes on this first climb or not, we don't know. Because as you can see, we come down and we go up another Cat 3 climb. So this is the sort of stage where we could and probably will have to wait quite a long time for the break to form. Will it form on the first climb, the second climb? Or will we even have to wait till halfway through the stage for the break to form? And my feeling is that the break is almost nailed on to win this. Because if we think about it, if a break gets clear, and I think we're going to get a pretty big break getting clear, somewhere around 18 to 20 riders again, who's going to chase it? I mean, Jumbo-Visma and UAE, as long as there's no one in contention who's got into the break, which is it's very unlikely we'll get anyone in contention in the break, there's no ways they're going to chase this down. As I say, Wout van Aert's probably targeting the stage, but then I expect to see him in the break. So yeah, it's very, very unlikely that we're going to get any GC action this is really going to be a stage where you want to watch the break, and it's going to be a very, very exciting one because there's a lot of different type of riders who could win this. I mean, certainly with the climbs here, you've got to be a bit of a climber. You've got to be able to handle yourself over the climbs. But if you and getting into the break for some of the guys might be the toughest thing with these two early climbs here. It might be tough for some of the riders who would normally like the end of the stage to actually get in. But if we have a look at the stage, it's sort of up and down all day. Then we've got a Cat 3 climb, the final major climb of the day, 6.5 kilometers at 5.6%. And from there, it's downhill virtually all the way. You've got a slight little uphill here, which might just be a launch pad for someone to go over the top and ride to the finish. But what are we looking at here? Well, we're either looking at a very small group coming to the end together to sprint this out, or possibly someone steals a march on the break, either on this Cat 3 climb, in which case they'd probably have to get quite far ahead because there's a long way to go still to the finish there, or possibly over here, or possibly even on the flat section. I mean, you picture a scenario where you've got Wout van Aert and Mathieu van der Poel, for example, in the break. They're going to be looking at each other and marking each other. And there is an opportunity for someone who's not as strong a sprinter or not as strong a rider as them to perhaps break away. The two of them look at each other, and then that other rider goes on to win. So this is really a tough stage. I'll run you through the betting now. We got, just my luck, it is actually suspended at this stage. But let's just see to win after. This is the betting is suspended. I'm going to take you on to Sunbet's site here. They've also got betting on the race. So let's have a look. Stages. And yeah, let's have a look here. We've got 7-2 Wout van Aert. I'm not going to make it bigger at this point. I'll talk you through it. Mathieu van der Poel 7-1. Magnus Cort 10. Mohoric is 18. Alaphilippe 20. Schelmos 20. Mats Pedersen, who won the other day, 22-1. And Fred Wright from Bahrain Victorious, he's a 25-1 shot. I'm going to open up some more here. In fact, let me make it a bit bigger so I can also see my eyes aren't what they used to be. And here we go down there. So I'm going to bring up my selections now. The prices may not match up now because I've sort of mixed it between World Sports Betting and Sunbet. I said half a unit on Mohoric at 20-1. If we go back to this, we saw a Welly climb the other day. He should be able to get into the break and stay in the break. And we've seen him downhill in some of the classics. He's a brilliant downhill rider. So I could see him. I think it was Milan Sanremo that he won going downhill. Sorry, if I get that wrong. I'm not. I do follow cycling throughout the year, but I'm not one of the absolute fanatics. But he is very good descending, and he might be able to steal a march and get away. So he's a very big runner. I've taken him then at 20-1, and I've taken Aramburu at 40-1. Now Aramburu is a guy been a bit disappointing to me over the years. I've followed him quite a lot. He's perfectly suited to the stage. He might battle a little bit at the start. If it goes off really hard, he's not a climber as such, but he's one of those hard sprinters who's perfectly suited to this sort of classic type of layout. So if he can get into the break, he's got every chance, in my opinion, of finishing it. He is a very quick finisher. And then we've got half a unit here on Cosnefroy at 80-1. He's 66, I think he was at World Sports Betting. So I took him here at Sunbet at 80. As I've said before, the money back for second place really applies to me when I'm backing a shorter price, not the 80-1. I'd rather have 50 Rand, for example, on a 80-1 than 50 Rand on a 66-1. Right, and he's part of the AG2R team. He's been in one sort of break up to now. He hasn't really impressed, but this is the sort of terrain where if he's at his best, he could be a very, very big player. So I'm going for him at 80-1. And then I'm going for Kevin Knitz at 500-1. Now, that's a huge price, of course. I'm just sticking a quarter unit on. He's the type of guy who should enjoy this stage, and I'm a little bit surprised to see him at such a price. Gadot started losing a bit of time in the general classification. I'm expecting the team to now go after stages. So 500-1 is my pick there. But one thing about the stage, it's going to be very exciting all the way through. And as far as picking a winner goes, I wouldn't put you off a Wout van Aert who's 7-2 to win the stage, or any of the other top guys in the betting. But honestly, this could really, the key thing is here to have someone in the break. And of course, if you do miss the break totally, there are in-running betting options, which is quite useful. You'll be able to, get involved there. But it's going to be a great stage. Don't miss it. And then, do join me then for the stage 11 preview. And I'll be up with that probably sometime Tuesday night at the very latest on Wednesday morning. Enjoy the stage. And let's hope we can start week 2 of the Tour de France with a win.